Hello, we're going to continue talking about Adobe Photoshop, particularly in the context for orchestra librarians. This short clip is going to discuss the different versions and how to determine which version you have. But before we go any farther, I want to make sure that you know that if you're watching these videos and you're enjoying them, be sure you subscribe to them. Simply, as you're viewing the video, right down here, the big red button, subscribe. Make sure you're signed in first and then click subscribe, and that way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video in this series. We hope to have several more coming this summer of 2019. So, talking about versions here, what you may have already noticed is that I'm demonstrating all of this in Adobe Photoshop Creative Cloud. 2015.5 is what I have here, but CC being the key character there, Creative Cloud. And if you're not sure how to know which version you have, well, you can look at the top of the toolbar. That's one way. The other way is we can go over here on a Mac to the left of Photoshop, and we can click About Photoshop, and that will tell us what we have. And CC means Creative Cloud. So there's a few other types of Photoshop that we might encounter, that you might be working from. Before Creative Cloud was something called Creative Suite, typically abbreviated CS. And so you may have a CS5 or CS6 or CS3 or some other variation of Creative Suite. The earlier the number, the lower the number, the earlier the version. So the later the number, you're going to have more features. Things are going to be a little more fluid and work a little quicker for you. So I would advocate going for a later version if you cannot get Creative Cloud. However, Creative Cloud is a great setup that where Adobe has moved from a one-time purchasing fee of the software to license it, a licensing fee, to a subscription fee. So once a year you pay for the 12-month subscription to the software. But it also means you get any updates that come with that. Your software can be updated at any time, and that's usually very good news with things changing so quickly anymore. So I would advocate to get Creative Cloud. There are some little things that you might see me doing, especially in some of the later videos, that might not work if you're using a Creative Suite version, especially an earlier one. Or you may have to find a workaround. I know some of you have already been watching some of my videos and have found a workaround for like Creative Suite 2. So congrats on that and kudos. But you may find a few things that just don't quite work as smoothly, or maybe not at all in those earlier versions. It's not expensive, so I encourage you to check that out. Some may also be using something called Photoshop Elements. And Elements is a scaled down version of Photoshop. I haven't used it recently. Was using it 2 or 3 years ago, not regularly, but one of our workstations in the library had that, and so I was familiar with it. There were a lot of things it couldn't do. Some things that were important to us in the library, like running a threshold filter. And another big thing with Elements is actions. Now, my understanding is newer Elements, you can run actions, you just can't create actions. I haven't checked that out, so check it for yourself. Verify that that's true and factual, what I just said. And I would just say that actions you're going to find are going to be very helpful for expediency. And for that reason, I am not going to advocate Elements in the orchestra library. If it's all you have right now, then make it work for you the best you can. But I would encourage you to try to get into a Creative Suite or Creative Cloud sooner than later, so that you can take full advantage of actions and batch features. So that's what we wanted to say about the different versions. And now you know what version I'm going to be working in, and you're going to be seeing these videos in. And you can find out what version you have and maybe look at upgrading and find some other cool tools available at your disposal. See you next time.